So much news in the movie and video game world has been happening recently, and we are here to talk about everything that's been going on in this past week. We've got SAG stuff, we've got Netflix, we've got gaming news, so buckle up for all the entertainment news you can handle. Welcome back, everybody, to the Calvin Cam, the place where we talk about everything movies, television, and video games. I'm Calvin.
And I'm Anthony. And there's a lot of stuff that happened in the past week. So let's get started with our box office numbers.
Okay, the box office is actually pretty interesting last weekend. The Marvels came out this weekend, and although it has some interesting reviews, mostly being positive, it has performed the weakest amongst all of the MCU movies, coming in with 46.1 million overall, which is a huge hit for the studio. That's really rough for Marvel, considering the budget for this film was one of the most expensive non-Avengers movies. The budget for this movie was over 500 million. So it's off to a bad start. We'll see if that breaks even at some point down the road. So
yeah, that's a rough start for Marvels and for Disney with this film.
Yeah, it's I've heard really great things about it, so I'm like being optimistic about it because I do love the MCU. It definitely is getting a lot of flack right now with the Variety interview and everything. So
in shambles.
We'll see how in shambles it is. I don't think so, but we'll see. There's definitely like a turning point. There's definitely something that needs to happen with it.
Yeah.
But it's like, what? I don't know. I think they're just testing.
That was a big budget. They need to come up with that cash flow, or else it's a loss.
I mean, it's like half a bill.
Yeah.
Half a bill. So.
Yeah.
Coming in second place over the weekend is Five Nights at Freddy's. It's still going strong. The movie is also one of the very mixed review type movies out there right now, but it earned another 9 million this weekend, so it's currently doing really well with 127 million overall. It's really impressive for what it is. It was like I think it was a $30 million budget. It might have been, no, I think it was actually less than that, but it's definitely made a lot of money
from a video game adaptation.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And that's really great to hear that it is like also the video game community is showing a lot of love for this movie.
Yeah, because this was basically basically an indie game, and they had one, and they just had a couple sequels for it. So
and it blew up, and it had like some of the top streamers out there like Markiplier, etc. Like they really made Five Nights part of their whole like gimmick. And so it really, it's impressive to see that the movie is doing as well as it is. I've heard a lot of like bad things about this movie that I have not seen it myself. I plan to get my own rating on it just before, I jump to conclusions. I go into movies very optimistic, and most of the time I go to a movie to enjoy a movie. I don't go to a movie to hate on a movie, even if I've heard all the complaints and stuff.
And not to mention, you go into movies expecting what it's going to be like as well.
I tried to just like think of the brighter side of things, just because like a lot of work goes into making movies. There's a lot of people behind movies, and this was many people's jobs to create what we are seeing.
Yeah.
So it's I try to be as optimistic and positive with my reviews and stuff when I watch movies. But I don't know how I'd feel about this third movie. In third place, we have Taylor Swift, the concert tour, adding on its extremely successful debut with another 6 million, bringing its total to 172 million at the box office so far. So
it's pretty crazy to think about.
It's really crazy for a concert film. I mean, it's everybody loves Taylor Swift right now. I don't think there's anything wrong with her, but the music's not my cup of tea, honestly. So
Yeah.
But more power to the Swifties out there. And
Yeah, I mean, there's people out there enjoying the film. I mean, let them enjoy it.
there's so many people that love it, and I've heard so much great things about it, and I'm sure that it's fantastic in its ways. I'm not jumping, on the edge of my seat to go see it, but maybe I'll watch it one day. So yeah, that's it for the box office, and we're gonna move into our movie news, our movie and TV news. Let's start off with the big thing. The SAG-AFTRA strike is over. After 173 days, it has finally come to an end. They have agreed on terms for what, I don't know what they've decided on, but I read it was for the next 3 years, the terms are, and more details will be released soon. So on exactly like what went down. But the good news is that it's over finally, and hopefully everybody is on the same page and our actors are getting paid a little bit better, and hopefully the use of AI is being more contained.
Yeah, because you shouldn't have AI writing all your scripts. I mean, yeah, I get the convenience of AI, but sometimes it's just too much when AI just decides to take over all these tasks that we.
Well, it's not even like it's not even scripts for the actors. It's like their actual like appearances. And so one of the biggest arguments with it was just like to be able to digitally use your face.
Yeah, digitally mask it, and from there you just basically have AI interpret lines and then you implement voice and sound.
Yeah, AI is crazy right now, so it's hopefully there's some good restraints on the use of AI.
Yeah.
But we'll see down the road, So let's get into some actual movie and television news. We have a lot to go over with Netflix. Netflix is on fire right now. The past week, Netflix just had their Geeked Week 2023, where they made so many announcements, both movies and shows, and even games. I know Netflix is doing games now, which is really crazy. Some of the games that were announced for the service was Hades and Braid. If you remember Braid from back in the day.
Yeah, Braid was a really, really good indie game back in the day.
Yeah, it's one of the best side scroller like puzzle games that I've played in a long time. And obviously the rogue type most popular game, Hades. Everybody knows that, and the amount of dialogue that was recorded for that game is insane.
Yeah.
So those are coming to Netflix. For those of you who do not know, Netflix has a mobile catalog of games. They features games like TMNT Shredder's Revenge, or even like Sonic Prime Dash. It's on their mobile app, and you can download the games and you can play them.
Yeah, it's great that you can get those classics too. Those super giant games.
Yeah, so I think that's an avenue that Netflix is experimenting with, and I think that it is kind of cool.
It is kind of cool.
But moving into the TV shows, we got a new trailer for Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. It's the final trailer before the show comes out this Friday. I'm looking forward to it. Scott Pilgrim is one of the best like adaptations from a like comic book to live action, which is awesome. And the whole cast from the original movie is returning to voice all of the characters. So that's really awesome stuff.
Yeah, that is actually really cool. Like you're gonna have, Anna Kendrick and Michael Cera, just like
even Chris Evans is coming back.
Yeah,
I think
it's really, really interesting. I really think that's really cool that they're doing this.
Yeah. Some other really exciting anime shows were announced, like a Terminator anime.
Yeah, I'm actually stoked for that.
That's wild.
It just sounds really cool.
Well, it's really cool because, we recently, we talked about, we got a Devil May Cry announcement,
Uh-huh.
Devil May Cry anime announcement, and then we also got a Tomb Raider anime announcement. So
Oh, that's right. I heard about that.
yeah, so like Netflix is going crazy with their anime, and the studio behind their animes are really talented people. If you haven't seen Castlevania yet, you should definitely go check it out because it's incredible. There's 4 seasons, and there was a new season for a spin-off show called Castlevania Nocturne. And it's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, Netflix is also getting all these spin-offs. You have the Cyberpunk Edge Runners too, which is really good.
Yeah, yeah. Netflix is killing it right now. Like I said, they're on fire. We're also getting the 2nd season of a beloved anime called Blood of Zeus. It's getting its 2nd season. Netflix released a clip this week of the 2nd season, and it looks really good. The animation is just as beautiful as it was in the 1st season. And you know, the show's based off of Greek mythology. It's really cool stuff. And I really enjoyed it. Me and my brother we thought it was really great. So,
Yeah, I didn't even know this existed. But that just Greek mythology overall is like,
yeah,
it's so awesome.
You should definitely check it out. It's a very unique original story. So yeah, and we're also getting a new Witcher anime called Witcher Sirens of the Deep. Witcher's awesome. It's such a great franchise, and I love to see it getting more love as time goes on. I don't think Henry Cavill's attached to any of this, so don't expect to see him return. But you know, maybe one day down the line. All I know is the anime series do it better than the live action, in my personal opinion, with certain things. So, and I think The Witcher is one of those. There was a Witcher anime that came out a while back from Netflix that is really beautifully done, and it's also really badass. So, we also got a new look at Masters of the Universe Revolution. The series is coming out soon. The continuation of the Masters of the Universe that was done by Netflix, and has some really great stuff.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I heard it's pretty good.
It's really good. Mark Hamill plays Skeletor.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so he's, you know, we love Mark Hamill.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I really watched of Masters of the Universe in a long time was that 80s movie with Dolph Lundgren in it.
Yeah, and you know, we also got a behind the scenes look at the new Devil May Cry anime as well. So a lot of anime news, a lot of cool Netflix stuff. Some live action adaptations of animes were announced as well, like the very anticipated The Last Airbender series finally getting its teaser trailer. The scale and scope of it looks ginormous. I'm a little concerned with the amount of CGI that I saw in those giant shots, but overall it looks really well. I'm a little skeptical of it after seeing, you know, of course, the M. Night Shyamalan's The Last Airbender, which is probably one of the worst movies in history, especially amongst anime adaptations. But yeah, I'm optimistic about it though, in a way, because I want it to be good. So I'm just trying to put that out there in the universe that it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
You got to have high hopes for some of these series sometimes.
Yeah. So, but we also got some more adaptations to talk about, like a Yu Yu Hakusho live action trailer dropped, which was unexpected. I did not know Yu Yu Hakusho was gonna make a movie or a show. I don't know what it's gonna be. But regardless, the trailer looks badass. It's, you know, got a all Japanese cast. It looks really, really great. Yu Yu Hakusho was one of my favorite animes growing up. I used to watch it on Toonami all the time. It looks really great. I'm really excited about this. So, yeah, go check those trailers out. Like they all look really great. We also got a couple of really awesome movies that stood out that were announced, and one of them being called Damsel, which stars Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things, which looks really good. She's in a lot of Netflix stuff. So I can tell that she has a really good relationship with the company because she keeps doing projects with them. So this movie looks badass as well. It kind of gave me chills, made the hair on my arm stand up, just like a couple of other movies that were announced, like Rebel Moon, which also got a new trailer and looks amazing.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new trailer, but I saw the first one, and the first one was really good. So you know that Zack Snyder's just like, he's doing a good job of this already.
I was looking for I can't even find my words. I was looking forward to this movie the moment it got announced, and then just when I saw the trailer, I couldn't even believe it.
Yeah, you showed me the trailer up in my room.
It's cool.
That was really cool. I said, "Wow, this is going to be really, really interesting."
It easily
cool.
jumped to the top of like my most wanted to watch movie this year, and we got a lot of good movies this year. I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time came out this year, Spider-Man, and it's Across the Spider-Verse. But this is like, I'm really excited about this, guys. So hopefully it's great. But yeah, Netflix is currently still making plenty of announcements this week, so make sure to be on the lookout for those. And I'm excited to see what comes of it. But
yeah, they're killing it right now. Like, who would have thought like a streaming service from 20 years ago would be making films and TV shows and all that stuff?
I know, we used to like rent out. We used to like go online, you rent your movie, it gets mailed to you, and then now it's just like the click of a button and everything. Although I will say the expenses are a little shitty, but we're dealing with we're dealing with it in the times.
Yes.
So, yeah. And I heard they're gonna add ads, and I'm like, oh my god. And add ads, and they're at a higher tier to pay for no ads, and it's just like, so there's the ups and downs. Good content, bad subscription prices, I feel.
Well, I was about to say, that's the world we're living in now. So.
It is. It's like our streaming services are becoming our new cable, and that's a whole interesting other topic for another video.
Yeah.
Yeah, but outside of Netflix, we had a couple of announcements, or a couple of things happen, I should say. The season finale of Loki season 2 happened, which is, one of my personal favorite finales that I've seen, especially with the MCU stuff. Everything came full circle. It was one of the best things, and it really made Loki just probably one of the best written characters in all of the MCU. Tom Hiddleston really portrays the character as Loki like wonderfully, and he just took the character to a whole new level and really made this 14-year journey with Loki like just incredible.
Yeah, it seems like Tom Hiddleston, he basically did the whole shift from the movies where he just played Loki, just like he plays Loki, and then he moves into a television series, and he's just amazing. It's just Loki. It's just seamless.
Yeah. Also, we got John Wick director saying that a anime and new TV series is in the works, which is interesting because The Continental didn't do all that well. But I assume that people are still hopeful for what's to come in the franchise because John Wick is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch The Continental. I mean, I know it has Mel Gibson in it, so
I haven't watched The Continental either. I didn't know it had Mel Gibson in it.
He's in it.
Huh. Yeah, so I haven't watched it yet. I've watched all of the John Wick movies, but I haven't watched
it's just the early version with like Winston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to go back and watch that at some point. A24 is making a biopic of about Elon Musk, which I'm just curious about because it's like, what is that film going to be like?
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But at the same time, like it's also A24, so in A24 we trust.
Yeah.
Because they are just like the best studio right now that are just
Yeah, they're
it.
just getting they're getting all these blockbuster films and just with all the Ty West stuff and you know, with Talk to Me with you know, the Raka Raka, just like they're awesome right now, and they're getting some good movies.
So also some Warner Brothers news. Warner Bros. Just completely shelved another movie. They shelved the Coyote versus Acme movie. So we will not get to see that at all. It was completely finished and filmed and everything, but they
scrapped it.
They just like we're not showing this. They did it with Batgirl. Everybody was looking forward to Batgirl. They just shelved it. Mainly because like Brendan Fraser was gonna play Firefly in Batgirl, and so
that would have been cool to see.
We were really looking forward to it. A couple new trailers came out, such as the Garfield movie, which will tell the origin story of Garfield and then some. And guess who is playing Garfield?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Apparently, Chris Pratt is just voicing every main character in cartoons.
Yeah, he's
now.
going crazy since Mario Brothers, man.
Yeah, so it's just funny. It's like, okay, Chris Pratt's the go-to voice actor guy now. So it looks funny. I saw the trailer earlier today, and it also stars Samuel L. Jackson, which he's done a lot of voice work too, which is interesting.
He's done so much stuff in his career.
Oh, so much. Yeah.
He's pretty much, in my opinion, one of the he's a goat actor.
He is a goat actor. He's Sam motherfucking Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna watch this movie. It's great. As a father, I'm gonna watch it anyway too, because obviously I gotta take my kids. So we got that, and then we've also got a Terrifier 3 trailer for the Terrifier movie that's coming. That's gonna be a Christmas movie. It'll be a terrifying Christmas, pun intended. Yeah, it shows Art the Clown in a Santa Claus outfit, and he's under the tree. And then, you know, once they reveal himself, he's got an axe, and he starts laughing, and it's gonna be awesome. You know, it's gonna be bloody as hell, and especially because the last one was like one of the most gruesome movies that I've ever seen. Yeah, Terrifier, it's back. But yeah, that's it for movie and TV news. Now getting into some gaming news. There's not a whole lot, but we got a little bit here. The Game Awards, they're happening soon. We are going to be covering it, and it's going to be awesome. If you haven't already, you should go check out all of the nominations and categories and go vote, because some games deserve to win, and your voice will be heard. So
yeah, your opinion matters.
So we want you to go and vote correctly for what should and deserve to win. Yeah. But the new Avatar game, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, it's finally gone gold. Ubisoft has confirmed that, and that's a really good sign. It means the game will maintain its schedule and be released on December 7th, the same day as the Game Awards.
Which you'll probably get a reveal for it.
We're probably going to get something at the Game Awards.
But what I've seen so far with what I've seen some of that IGN, you know, gameplay videos for it, it looks really, really good. Like
it does.
Man,
it does.
This game looks phenomenal. I'm actually stoked and want to actually check this out.
There's been a few people that I've seen online have gotten to play it for a couple of hours, and their impression is that it flows really nicely, and it's not just like Far Cry. It's more than that. So,
and I don't know. I think it's co-op too.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think that was up in the air. I think they said something about co-op. But
I mean,
only
co-op's
time will tell.
great. So, yeah. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 came out, and it's off to a very rough start. The campaign, we talked about it before. It was reviewed terribly with a 4 out of 10 score across like many platforms. But now that the full game has come out, fans are not happy. There are very, very mixed reviews. If you go on Steam, you'll see the reviews all say mixed. And that's like, it's never a good thing to hear. But we kind of expected this because Activision promised us that we weren't going to get another Call of Duty game this year. And they went back on their promise and just released a whole new game.
That was kind of...
That's marketed as a $70 to $80 game with the same content that they just took away in the last game.
Yeah, and that was kind of one of my major gripes, and I didn't want to play anymore, is because you can't lie to your fans or your community and your player base. That's just something you don't do.
Yeah, and most things are very like negative that people are saying. They're not happy with the weapon progression system. They're not happy with the maps, the servers, etc. Like it's looking like a mess. And you know what? I'm not spending $70 on it, but it is coming to Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, that's a win.
Okay,
you get to play it for free. So that's just one of those interesting things because like, come on, Activision, get it. You know.
Well, we'll see what happens now that it's in Microsoft's hands.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they switch it around.
Well, moving over to Valve, Valve has announced the new Steam Deck, the Steam Deck OLED, to compete with the other versions. Obviously, the OLED screen is such a nice touch to this device that I can see people easily wanting to pick one up, and it's a good competitor against the Switch OLED, the only other handheld console that has an OLED screen.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to see how Valve has come so far with this device. I mean, they've had the Steam controller, you know, the Streambox, the Steam controller, and their Steam machines, and those all didn't do very well. But the handheld is just awesome because they've implemented the Steam OS, and just all these developers are on board to make games for it, and all the community wants games on a portable, and it's just like so much, you know, power that this device can do. And might as well, I mean, that's what people wanted, was an OLED. So they got an OLED now, and they got something with better battery life as well. But it's all going to retain the same other components. Like all the hardware is going to be the same. The only difference is the OLED screen and the battery life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We like, you know, I'm a fan of my Steam Deck. I really like it. I wish I should play it more. Just
Same here.
You know, but it is, you know, I'm curious to see what an OLED screen would look like on a Steam Deck. I do have the Switch OLED. It's very beautiful. I really like the vibrancy of the screen, and it just looks really great. So that being on a Steam Deck would be really nice.
Yeah, it'd be really cool.
nice.
But I think when they come out with the new iteration with the Steam Deck 2, they'll probably have an OLED by default.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna wait for the Steam Deck 2.
We do already know that the Steam Deck 2 is most definitely being made.
there was leaks for it, but it's not confirmed yet.
Yeah. we know it's coming. We know it's coming. But yeah, that's going to be it for our entertainment news today. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember, go and follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and, you know, hit that like and subscribe on YouTube. Also join our Patreon, one of our 3 tiers. We'd really appreciate it. It goes a long way. And yeah, let's have a good night, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching the Calvin Cam podcast. You can find us on any social media platforms like Instagram or Twitter. Go check our podcast out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Amazon Music. We also have YouTube channel, the Calvin Cam. Go over there, hit that like and subscribe button, and follow us there. As well as you can now really support us on Patreon.com. It's probably the best place to support us. So you can go there, join one of our 3 tiers, and you know, help us get bigger and better. And we will appreciate you every step of the way. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good night.